Hello everyone, today I will be teaching you how to code. Now, as you may know, people interact with thousands of code every day. In fact, Google hosts 2 billion lines of code all in one server, according to a 2015 study by Cade Metz during a Wired interview. My name is Enes Sheltami and I'm a freshman at Purdue University studying computer engineering. I've been coding for about 2 years now, and I know about 7 different programming languages, including MATLAB, Python, and C, which I will be showing you how to do today. After this tutorial, hopefully you'll be able to print any text you want to the computer. Before we begin, there are a few tools that you will need. You will need a computer, access to the internet, and time to play around with the code yourself. I personally learn best while coding when I am able to play around and test different scenarios. We will be using an online compiler rather than setting up a file and running it through a terminal. In a May 2017 article titled C++, Online Compilers, Arne Mertz stated that online compilers can be useful tools to quickly compile a snippet of code without having to install a proper compiler on your computer. First, we are going to use the website repo.it. We're going to scroll through here where it says search for a language, all the way to the C compiler. We will be using the C language as it is one of the most original languages and is the most user-friendly. In August 2017, Professor David Brailsford of the University of Nottingham stated that C finds its maximum power if you think about it being as the classical system implementation language. So hopefully you understand how crucial C is in the programming world. Now you'll be brought to this screen with C code on the left, where we'll be doing most of our coding, and the command prompt on the right. The command prompt will allow us to print information to the user and even scan numbers to be used in the calculations. Now, prior to coding, we need a couple pieces. First, we need this library that allows us to print information to the user. This int main is simply the main function where we will be doing most of our coding. And this return 0 is part of the main function that tells the compiler to just end the main function. I'm just going to leave a few extra spaces so we know to only manipulate these lines. One of the first commands here is printf. The format is as shown, with printf and then text surrounded by quotation marks and then surrounded by parentheses. Now printf will print information back to the user. If you look up here where you can see this play button, we can actually run the code on the terminal to the right. And as you see, it prints out hello world exactly as we wanted it to. In fact, you can type anything in these quotation marks to print anything back to the user. Now, you may have noticed that there was this \n which was not printed. The / command actually tells the compiler to not print out the following, and the n means to push the command to a new line. Now, you do not want to remove this because if we go ahead and test it out, we can see that the cursor is right next to hello world because we did not tell the compiler to push to the next line. We obviously would not want this if we have other text we want to print out, so we should leave it back there. Also, do not forget to have a semicolon for every line of code in this function. The semicolon simply terminates the line and tells the compiler to move on to the next line. If we try to compile it without the semicolon, we receive an error. Now, let us test it out yourself by removing hello world, and you're going to replace it with my name is, and then fill in whatever your name is. So for me, I'm going to put Enes Sheltami. And if we run it, you can see that it prints out, my name is Enes Sheltami. So after this tutorial, you are now able to print out statements to the user. Even though we went over the basics for C programming, I hope you try to learn more about C and other languages like Pascal and Python. As Carrie Ann of Crash Course stated in an interview in May 2017, each new language attempts to leverage new advances to make some aspect of programming easier and more powerful. Thank you.